Hello. This is a very quick video because I realized today's Friday and I haven't edited a video yet. So I was like, well, I've been meaning to share these books with you. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've done some previous videos on books that inspire me, and these are all relatively new. So you haven't seen these before, but I thought I would just take you through them because we all love books, right? So this one I purchased from a bookshop here in the Netherlands using a gift card that was given to me over a year ago for my birthday. And it actually expired at the end of July. So I was like, I better use it because it has like an 18-month timeline. I'm going to open this in a sec. So I'll just set that to one side. Then this one is Anne Blockley's Watercolour Workshop, which I think arrived sometime in March. I had it in my Amazon basket for quite a while, and I decided that it would be good to work through and get more creative. It's projects and interpretations, and it's about using watercolor in like creative ways rather than just the normal. So it's quite beautiful. I'm not sure, so this is like using found material. I'm not sure it's something, because I love mixed media. That seems to be what I'm drawn to rather than just watercolor purist. But I thought it would be good for me to flick through, learn from, and experiment. And the reason that I haven't actually experimented with it is because, well, we all know I have a secret project that I'm working on and it's really intense at the moment, which is why I didn't realize today was Friday. Expressive mark making. So I thought it was just a really good book for reading through, learning, and getting inspired. So I'm going to put this by my bed actually, because it has just been on my shelf in my sewing room. I'm going to put it on my bed, by my bed, and I'm going to report back on this one. Now this one I actually had years ago. I recently saw it, I think it was on RT's YouTube channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have this book. Wow. I went back to my dad's in the UK and I looked for it and I don't have it. So when I logged into my old Amazon account, my UK one, it said that I'd ordered it back in like 2006 or something. But it's a really cool, it's like a way of using a sketchbook for textile artists and encouraging like playing with color and pattern and stitches and texture. And I thought, well, this is kind of how I use a sketchbook. Like the reason I use my sketchbooks the way I do is because I am a fashion designer and I was taught how to use a sketchbook in this kind of way to bring out kind of like this actually. So rather than just having like perfect pages in a sketchbook, to actually experiment. This is like my previous sketchbook, which you would have seen last week. So playing around and experimenting and trying to understand stuff. Like that's how, like there's nothing perfect and pretty in my sketchbooks. They're not a perfect anything. They're just me experimenting and learning and developing as a artist. I always use that word tentatively and then people tell me off and say, you are an artist. So this is how I use like a fashion sketchbook. When I'm creating a fashion collection, I use a sketchbook in a similar way where I'll draw images from different areas that inspire me, maybe garment, like historical garment research, a topical research, a muse research, and from that I start designing. And I think that's similar to how this sketchbook works. So this is quite an interesting one for me to look back through and see how actually this methodology applies to the way that I use my own sketchbooks. So this one is Imagine a Forest. And I saw this, I think this one might be February time. I'd seen this on someone's either their YouTube or Patreon, I don't recall, and I really liked, look at this, I like the textural approach, but I haven't actually done anything with it because, so there are like project ideas. I just found it a little bit, I don't know how to describe it, like the style. I love the idea of the flat illustrative style, but maybe because it's all imaginary, which makes sense from the title, right? Imagine a Forest. Designs and Inspirations for Enchanting Folk Art by Dinara Mirtalipova. I think I said that right. This is really sweet. So it's kind of interesting in that way, like if I look at it from illustrating fashion, it kind of makes sense. But I don't know it's anything that's going to influence my artistic style, for want of a better word. So I'm not sure. But I thought I'd share this one because it's one of 5 newish books. Yeah, I'm not sure. It all just feels a little bit too cutesy. So I bet someone's going to complain and be like, well, why are you showing the book then? Well, because some people do like this style. To me, it feels too cutesy for me, but other people will like it. So that's quite, I like how the clothing is rendered. And that's something to take away from it. Oh, my niece will probably like this actually, with griffins and stuff, my younger niece. So that's another one, Imagine a Forest. The fourth one is Mary Newcomb's Drawing from Observation. I briefly showed this in a previous video. I think it was my June recap video, but I love this book. I like to just look through, but it's like a diary. So, and then it looks at work that was done, and it's kind of like a diary of her sketchbook process. I think it was done through the course of 1 year. Let me look at the back. Yeah, so she kept a diary. 1980, she wrote opening pages. Cute observer of her surroundings, reproducing copious sketches alongside more finished paintings and short diary extracts. Rural world of Mary Newcomb's world of rural East Anglia. That's actually where I grew up and spent my younger first 18 years of my life. Mary's daughter Tessa Newcomb, also an artist. Her work's lovely. I follow her on Instagram. Introduces the key themes of the book with short text which provide fascinating insight into her mother's world. And I just, you know, sometimes you just need a book to go through. It's like Sandy Hester's work as well. I like her. She shared something on Instagram yesterday or the day before, and I was like, oh, I would love to be able to do stuff like that. Like, on one way, it feels like quite... David uses the word, not naive. There's a word for it. I can't think what it is that he uses. And I think when he says that, I think, oh, that's a bit mean. But he doesn't mean it like that. He just means that it's a certain style of art. And it seems like, I love this. The Woman and the Pig Disrupt the Hunt, 1976, oil on cardboard. So that's the lady and the pig, and these are the hunters. What's this in the background? It looks, I can't tell. What an odd event. I'm sure it will never happen again. And the working drawings. Like, it's just fascinating because you get a kind of inside look at how she created. So there's the pencil and paper sketch and then the final piece. Yeah, so it makes me feel better about my rubbish drawings in my sketchbook, because I'm like, well, you know, it is about learning and working things out, isn't it? Sketchbooks are problem solving places where you can work through your ideas and your struggles and your thoughts. There's some really lovely pieces in here. So that's Mary Newcomb's. Shall we open this one now? Okay, let me just turn it over because it's got my address on. So this one had been, again, in my basket for the UK Amazon for quite a while. And I'm really excited about this. I'm going to leave that little paper behind in case it's got personal information. Mark Hurl's workbook. I'm so excited about this. So this is, look at this. Again, something that I'm excited about because of the texture. Let me bring you closer. You see all the different textures going on here. All the textures. And I don't know much about this person, Venice Fish Market. I just know that the work that they create is so like colourful and vibrant and fun. These, aren't they beautiful? Prints made on one plate using the same range of colours. They demonstrate how the same limited palette can be used to create contrasting images. So beautiful. Oh, love it, love it, love it. So this is another one for inspiration. Look at the owls. I saw this somewhere, I think maybe on Instagram, and it reminded me a little bit of Sandy Hester because she does some like kooky things with owls. And that's when I was like, ooh, I've got to get this book. Oh, love it. So this one is Mark Hurl's workbook. He's an artist taking inspiration from nature, creating bold and enchanting visions of the landscapes, plants and animals that surround us. This exquisite, eclectic scrapbook features more than 150 of his collages, prints, textiles and ceramics. It wasn't cheap, it was £25, but I actually got this from a Dutch art store and I think it was like 35 or 36 euros. But lots of, like, it is again the texture that's been created I just find really exciting. Also, because some of you here will know that at some point I want to illustrate a children's book, and I feel like his style is quite suited. Look at that. Oh, all the texture. Anyway, that, my friends, is 5 arty books that have recently come into my life. By recently, I mean like within the last 4 or 5 months, that I'm excited to really spend some time looking through and seeing how they inspire or potentially influence my work. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do give the video a like if you made it this far. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I will see you very soon for another video. Take care. Bye. Oh my goodness gracious me, you might want to watch another video. Oh,